Namaste everyone, welcome back to Figure Outable. I have another interesting topic to share here in today's video, and this is also on relationships. But I wanted to, touch upon a very quick, short tip and a technique that we can use for relationships with our children, or your brothers and sisters, kids, and so on, or any other kids that you associate with in your relationship in any form that it may be. So, love again is a concept and a theme that impacts us in multifold dimensions and levels, right? So it really plays a big role in our emotions, in our feelings, in our reactions, in our day-to-day, thought forms and actions, and the vibration that we bring within us to handle the day and to take the tasks in whatever form or shape that it comes to us. Love really plays a major role in that. Knowingly or unknowingly, it does impact big time. And with children, again, it's very important that we show that degree of care and connection and that bonding, right, in through the form of love. So what we have realized is, many a times we tend to do certain things as parents or elders, that we feel that we are giving all the love that the child requires, and there isn't really anything that the child should be complaining about or be concerned about. Now, bear in mind that's very wrong from our side in the way that we are trying to do it, right? Because the issue that I'm trying to talk about here in this so-called rapid lifestyle that we're living today is we tend to not understand how much the child is feeling on this love, so it's like a tank. So we always realize then when our love tank is filled up and it's full, the child is thriving. The excitement is just brimming around, and there's always that positive vibration and excitement and enjoyment. There's happiness and joy in everything that they're doing, in everything that they're expressing out, and so on. But the moment the level of love starts dipping down in the tank, that's where the other consequences starts coming in, right? Which is where they start building up that internal lackness. They start getting into that feel of struggle, that I am not able to give my best, or I'm not doing the best that I want, and therefore I'm not receiving the love that I want. So these kind of triggers start getting ingrained inside the thought forms and the day-to-day thinking of the child. So it's important for us to make sure that they don't get into that sort of a wavelength, and we are able to quickly turn things around and make sure that that love tank is filled back. Now, one example that I would like to share is, which I came across recently, is a story from a young woman who was talking about her childhood stages, where she never realized that her mom gave all the love that she was craving for as a child from her mom, and therefore there was always that lackness. And as years prolonged, it just continued and carried forward, and it just became so deeply registered in this child's mind and thought forms that my mom, never really cared much about me. She was just so, self-centered in her own things and ways and forms and whatnot, right? So there was never a day that I can reflect back as a child where my mom gave the love that I was craving for. Now, that was a pattern that has been, ingrained in this child's mind, and that's how she grew up. And there was a point when her mom passed away and life goes on. And at one point, she had hit upon this interesting, amazing tool that we have through the help of our mentor, Dr. Gary Chapman, talking about the 5 languages of love, the 5 love languages. And she started reading more about it, understanding what are these 5 love languages and how does it resonate to an individual's personality and so on and so forth. And then it just hit her all of a sudden that, hang on, my mom was actually showing so much love to me all the years that I grew up with her. And her way of showing love was through doing all the chores in the house. I mean, she kind of did the laundry, she kind of cooked amazing meals for us. She made sure that the house was tidy and up and running all the time. Everything that we needed in the house was always available where it should be available. The dishes were washed, the clothes were washed and ironed and kept neatly for us to, have it when we need it. Now that's a form of love, showing the child that, dear child, I, as your mother, I'm here to do these things for you. So don't you worry, I'm there. Right now, this again is one of the love languages that we have, right? So it's one of the 5 love languages we talk about. Now, interestingly, this child was able to educate herself through the 5 love languages program from Dr. Chapman, and just amazed her to realize that my mom's love language was acts of service. And that is how she was trying to, fill that space of love. And that is how she was trying to time and again fill my love tank, which I never realized, right? And now she understands it, and she has been able to, soulfully connect with her mom through this process and reconcile and appreciate every little thing that, the child was blessed with during her growing years. So it's very important for us to understand the love languages that our children are tuned into. Now, just to quickly recap the 5 love languages, I'm just going to reiterate it here, but we also have another video which talks a bit more deeper into each of these languages and the characteristics under each of these languages. So I will drop in the link of that video as well below. So do take a look at that, and that would be quite useful for you to dig more deeper into these concepts as well. So the first one is word of affirmation. It's called the words of affirmation. The second one is acts of service, which we just spoke about in this little example that I talked a while ago. The third one is receiving gifts, and the fourth one is quality time, spending quality time. Some people, just love to fill their love tank through the process of ensuring that they're getting enough time from the person or the partner that they are associating with as their partner, through which they're getting the source of quality time. And the last one is physical touch. So these are the 5, again, words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So try to explore this and educate yourself as well with respect to what among these 5 are the pillars that your child resonates more to. The moment we know that and we are able to connect to that, things really transform so amazingly, beautiful. Always remember this. Love, again, is a very strong platform for us to embrace and enjoy that, piece of emotion that really elevates us in multiple levels. So try to understand again on what's your core strength and your child's core strength, which of the 5 connect to each other. And then when you have that kind of dialogue exchange between the two, that's going to ring a lot of bells around you, and I'm sure that's going to switch the whole process of connecting with your children and making sure that bonding is really elevated in multiple levels. So thanks again for listening in, and do stay tuned for more interesting topics. please do leave your comments. We'll be more than happy to read them up. And if you have any other topics that you have in your mind that you would like us to touch upon, more than happy to engage and deliver that through this channel, Figure Outable. Stay tuned for more interesting topics coming in every week for you. At your service again. With that, I'm going to sign off and sending you lots and lots of love and good wishes from the universe. Thanks again for tuning in. Namaste.